Welcome everybody to another episode here at Hester's Motorsports. I'm at Hester's Motorsports here in Raton, New Mexico. Welcome to the channel again today. This is John Hester here, and I got a couple of CF Moto Z950s. These are the new HOs, HO for high outputs. So they did a lot of upgrades to these machines and did a fantastic job on them as always. I mean, CF Moto is not sitting on their laurels. They are definitely putting some R&D into development, and machines are changing dang near yearly. So they are definitely doing a good job on it. So we're going to get to know the difference in between an HO Sport and an HO EX, what the difference is, and all the goodness about them. So first of all, we're going to start with the HO Sport. Now, there is in the United States 3 models of Z950s. They have the Z-Force 950 Sport, Z-Force 950 HO Sport, and Z-Force 950 HO EX. I don't have a regular non-HO because frankly, by the time I get into this video, you're going to quickly know why. The Z-Force 950 Sport and HO Sport are very close to the identical machine. They are a 60-inch wide machine. Okay, so if your trails are a little bit narrower, the Sport might be for you. You have about 12 inches of wheel travel, slightly under. It's like 11.8. So I'm just rounding it to 12, so please forgive me. Just, you know, keyboard warriors, lay off me for a bit. But the biggest difference in between the two, number one, first and foremost, is in engine parts. The HO has new throttle body, some new internals, new parts that bump it from 79 horsepower to 90 horsepower. Okay, so you gain an 11 horsepower increase in between the non-HO and an HO. That's first and foremost. More power. Okay, next, HOs come with beadlock wheels, and they did a good job on these beadlocks. Let me show you. So you have an actual true beadlock wheel, but I do like one little thing. So they put the valve stem on the inside here instead of out here. So your valve stem is very well protected. So that's actually pretty dang smart. I do like that. A nice beadlock wheel. Everybody knows beadlocks are, in today's time, golly, $250 plus a wheel. So that's like $1,000 upgrade. Okay, just the rims, $1,000 upgrade. They upgraded the shocks. Shocks are now a dual spring rate. Now this is a progressive rate spring on the top with the linear on the bottom. They have new clicker system on it. So I'm gonna get back over here. So instead of using a screwdriver, they actually have knobs for high speed and low speed and rebound. Okay. So shock upgrade. They still, man, CF Moto, you're really missing the mark on the potential of the shocks. The shocks have a good potential. I mean, it looks like a nice shock, big reservoir with all the tunability. It's got a big shaft on it, a 2.2 inch body, but it really missed the mark on spring rates and valving. It is oversprung and it's over valved from the factory. Now this is coming from me as a suspension expert, motocross racer, everything like that, engineer. I do a lot of suspension stuff. So it's what we call adequate. It works, it rides, but there's so much more potential. When you have perfect suspension on a machine, the whole machine changes. Everything, the handling, the steering, just feedback, everything, because your tires are contacting better. But adequate suspension. I'll say adequate suspension. So for most everybody that might say, well, I have a 950 HO Sport or EX, whatever. Not, I think it rides fantastic. Well, great. Glad you like it. I'm just talking from a perspective, okay? So, not trying to put the machine down or anything. I'm just saying, hey, when you have a machine that's in a price point like this, you know, MSRP of $13,999. $13,999 for this sucker. A non-HO is $13,399. So for $600, you get 11 horsepower more, some nice upgrades on the interior. I'm going to get over that in a second. Upgrades on the suspension, upgrades with bead locks. For 600 bucks, that's a no-brainer. Personally, me as a dealer, I'm going to never stock a non-HO again. Really. For 600 bucks, come on. That's a lot of upgrades for $600, you know? Like I said, I haven't even got into the interior. This is just a couple of parts so far. So you get a tremendous amount of bang for the buck. Now everybody's like, well, Z950 is kind of an oddball. This is called a Z1000 everywhere else in the world. It's just the United States they do this. And it's more of a marketing thing. They're trying to go, hey, we got a, because this is a 963cc V-twin engine. And it's going after their main competitor that they're wanting to compete with on this would be like a Razor 900 Trail S. That's a 60-inch wide machine. They've got 75 horsepower. Our regular one is 79. This one's 90. The way the V-twin works and it puts down its torque, this one all day long will run with the Razor 1000 XP. That's a naturally aspirated non-turbo machine. It doesn't have as long a legs, meaning top speed, as a Razor 1000 XP, but it'll pretty much make a Razor 900 eat its dust and watch taillights all day long. Now, with that being said, the suspension numbers and everything are very close to what a Razor 900 Trail S would be. But of course, its price point is far, far less, and you get far, far more goodies with it. I mean, much better suspension system as a whole. I mean, off the shelf, yeah. I mean, the Razor comes with Fox Podium 2.0s, but they really missed the mark on the Razor suspension system. I do a lot of shock upgrades on Razors, like you wouldn't believe. Probably 100 Razor shocks to one Z4 shock is what I'll sell. I mean, I ain't kidding, because we do a lot of upgrades, and it's a hell of an upgrade on a Razor. So if you're watching this, you got a Razor, you call me. I'd totally make your Razor ride a lot better. And that's regardless of what it is. The Razor 900, Razor 800, Razor 1000, Turbo S, all that stuff. We got all kinds of stuff. Anyways, back to what we're talking about here on the CF Motos. You have, the Stag tires are a pretty darn good tire. It's a 6-ply radial, and it actually has a pretty good compound, real good traction. It's got some pretty good side protection. Not a bad OEM tire. Not a bad OEM tire. Most manufacturers are coming out with a, coming with like Maxxis Bighorns, which are very prone to punctures. A lot of Polaris, Kawasaki, stuff like that. They'll come out with the Maxxis tires and flats galore. So tires are some of the number one things, first things that a lot of customers will change on a lot of vehicles, regardless of manufacturer. In the trailing arm suspension system, you got some pretty good beefy arms. I mean, you look at this and compared to like a Razor and stuff, the Razor's just all stamped steel, and you just look at them. Don't take my word for it one bit. Facts are facts. Big difference in build quality in between the two. All tubular frame, nice and beefy. They do a heck of a good job building these machines. Everything's easy to get to. You got this is a dipstick for your engine oil right here, and that is the dipstick for your transmission oil right there. You see it right next to your, see right there? That's your transmission dipstick, oil filter right there. Things are easy to get to, nice and easy to get to. Nice beefy axles, and you know, we got a 4-link system here with the inner adjustable. So this will adjust your toe angle, so you can change your toe on it. And there are a few places that's coming out with some adjustable radius arms back here, and even high clearance where it cuts up, and high clearance stuff for rock crawlers and stuff like that. Comes standard with a 2-inch receiver hitch, option for everybody else. All LED lights, really sharp. It's a V-twin, so you got two into one, and with a dual tipped muffler. Nice deep throaty sound. V-twins always have that deep growly throaty tone. Now, not a V-twin like a Harley, more like a V-twin like a Ducati. Think of more high performance V-twin, okay? So it's not going to sit there and go blah, 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 blah. No, it sits there and you snap the throttle and, you know, nice throaty deep tone to it, very fast. And V-twins notorious for tremendous bottom end torque. So we're a parallel twin like on a Polaris Razor, you know, a Polaris Razor 1000 XP, 110 horsepower, but it's upper RPM, off the line, grunt, torque, trail riding, rock crawling, V-twin superior, okay? Lots of torque, lots of grunt, immediately off idle. So the throttle response is very quick. Coming out of the hole is very quick. So this will launch out, lunge ahead, and then a Razor plays catch up after that. It will catch it and eventually pass it, yes, in a flat out drag race. Short drag race, I'd probably put money on this versus a 1000 XP. 300 foot, maybe 400 foot. After that, the Razor will probably catch it. But, I mean, God, come on. How many of us are buying a side-by-side to drag race, okay? If you're buying a machine to drag race, let's be honest, you're not buying a naturally aspirated machine, okay? So be honest with us, with yourself, etc., etc. We're talking trail machines, good rock crawling, trail riding, sport riding, everything that you want to do. Fantastic, fantastic machines. Comes standard with the winch. The sport model has a steel cable. The EX has a synthetic rope. Now I'm going to get to comparisons in between the two here in a little bit, but I just wanted to point that out. The new seats in the HO compared to the non-HO, night and day. Like, holy crap, if you have a non-HO, you want to buy these seats and put them in it. No questions. I really do like the steering wheel. So you got your flat bottom style steering wheel. It's all nice look to it. It's got this nice brushed aluminum, matte silver paint with a gloss paint. Looks nice. Some of the most beautiful instrumentation clusters right now is on the CF Moto. The other thing I love, a lot of people are like, oh, this is an ugly looking machine. It's different, okay? You can't say it's a Razor knockoff. It looks nothing like a Razor, so that's the whole point. But this is the only machine that has a dash that wraps all the way around, and its fit and finish is top notch, and it's a beautiful, this is a pearl white metallic, so the whole thing very nice. You got a nice quick adjustable handle. You undo these levers on both sides and you can adjust this in and out, and you got a nice latching glove box, not just a pop in there. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and a true full 4-wheel differential lock. When you put it in diff lock, you're locked, flat, plain and simple. Dual modes in the ECU, so you have normal and sport. Let's be honest, this should say low power and full power. Low power, what this does, you might say, well, who wants a low power switch on a sport machine? Let me explain. Look at a KRX 1000. You put it in low power, it changes your throttle input, because this is a fly-by-wire throttle control system. So when I'm doing this, I'm not moving the cable, I'm not opening and closing the throttle bodies. I'm moving essentially what's like a rheostat over here, and it has the sensors and everything like that. The ECU reads it. Your throttle bodies will then open and close based on servo motors. Welcome to new millennium technology. A lot of machines are doing this. When you put it in normal, it changes the profile so it's not so touchy. So whenever you're down here, you don't have to just, oh, I want to barely move, and then it's like, oh crap, too much throttle. Then you got to let go of the throttle. You put it in normal, this will move more before the throttle body's open, and they move at a slower progressive rate. So it's very, very easy to control, very, very smooth. In rock crawling and technical stuff, power delivery is key, not horsepower. Now, even in that mode, you have plenty of power on tap that it's going to, you snap this throttle, it's going to jump and it's going to do it. It's going to pull very well. But they smooth out the power delivery, and it's just, it works great. Look at how, sport bike technology, they're doing the same thing like on Kawasaki Ninjas and stuff. You have different power modes because power delivery, power is nothing without control. Makes a world of difference. When you kick it in a sport, everything sharpens up. So think of like a Mercedes AMG. You put it in sport mode, throttle response is sharpened, and just, the power delivery is much more intense. Okay? So you want to be smooth and technical. You want to use low power because you're not using that much power at all. Trust me, if you have one of these machines, try them both out on the trail and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. A good majority of time, a trail rider is probably going to be in normal because of the smooth delivery and the control that you have with the throttle pedal over sport mode. Okay? Now, the headlights, this is new for the HOs. They have full-time running lights, and they only have low beam and high beam. So there's no switch to turn them off. Some people hate that, some people like it. Me, myself, I actually like it because on my personal side-by-side, I run with the lights on all the time. It's for visibility. I want people to see me. I don't want somebody to come around the corner and just ram into me and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you in your big white machine or whatever, So I like that. Some people don't like it. These are LEDs. They last a tremendous long time. They're very bright and they're white, sharp, really nice lights. I think they did a very good job on the lighting system. Now this switch here is for the diff lock override. When you're in diff lock, it's going to limit you. When you push and hold this, it will override that limiter. So where would you use this? Deep mud, deep snow. Oh crap, I'm spinning, and you're bouncing the limiter, push and hold that. It will give you your full power, full speed in diff lock mode, and will allow you to essentially get unstuck. It'll help you get that wheel speed. Now, I'm going to show you the dash because I really like the dash. Very cool. Let me get the right key here. I got keys for both here, so I want to make sure I got the correct key. There we go. And of course, you got your keys down here, and you also have a power outlet, and you've got a dual USB outlet down here. Like I said, they're doing a very nice job on standard equipment. Turn the key on. Very cool on the dash. I dig that. Now you have two dashes depending on if you're sport or normal. And the other cool thing is this dash will also change its brightness based on how bright it is outside. So like right now, it's the sun, as you can tell, is shining right on this, and of course my camera is fighting the backlighting of the white and everything. So I could see it better than my camera can. But anyways, I know you can see my finger reflection. Hello. But anyways, sport, you see sport at the top, and normal. Okay, really cool. It tells you everything that you could possibly want to know. Listen to that growl. So here's your tachometer right up here. Okay. I mean everything. Fuel gauge, coolant, voltmeter, RPMs, odometer, trip meter, everything. I mean all these lights all the way around here, it's all in color. Switch to sport. Now you can tell it's more pissed off because you got orange and yellow and a red, and it's like, yeah. And you can tell the throttle response was quicker by doing that. Now of course, with everything there's limiters and government lawyer BS stuff on everything nowadays. So yeah, so I mean if I sit here and I just slam the throttle, it will not let you rev the engine to redline while in neutral. I was basically saying, hey idiot, put it in gear, let's go. Okay, so it'll sit there and it'll cut like at about 4,000, 4,500 RPMs, and just sit there and you know, at a low RPM, not letting you just scream the hell out of it. Now another cool thing, park and brake. I love a park and brake on an off-road machine, because you got park is for flat ground, not on trailers. Parking it in the garage, flat ground, put it in park, that way you're not stretching your cables and stuff. Park and brake for everything else. Putting it on the trailer, park and brake. On the side of a hill, park and brake. Ask any Polaris owner that puts it in park and they're on the side of a hill, they got to sit there and like jam it out of park to get it into gear. Okay, the same thing could happen in this. What's that doing? I mean, the force that you're putting into that, you're going to bend or break something over time, and it's always never a good thing to, you know, especially trailer a machine in park, because the forces of braking and accelerating and all the bumps and everything, you can damage your park gear. And you know, essentially, you know, the park is in the transmission. You damage that park gear, what if you sheared it off? It's into your transmission now. Now you got to tear your transmission apart. Okay, so park for flat ground, like in a garage, done for the day. Put it in the park and brake, everything else. You got a really nice tilt steering as well on this. I didn't show it, so you can go way up and way down. Very nice setup. Everything's easy to access. I love the way that they made these new deals on here. Come on. Keep in mind I'm doing this with one hand. Your battery and everything fits in here nicely. Fuses, relays, coolant, radiator cap. Everything's nice and easy to get into. Fits in. Oops. Come on. Pops in. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Oops, I missed this one, sorry. There we go. Now back here you have a CVT air inlet for your CVT with a frog skin on it. Helps prevent water and stuff from going in it. It's not waterproof, water resistant. Splashing water stuff, you submerge it, you're drinking water. Air filter inlet, once again, you know, keeping it up high out of the dust. And then the frog skin also helps like a pre-filter. It knocks off the larger particles of dust so it doesn't even suck in. And then your air box is right in here, easy to get to. Pop this up, couple clips, lid comes out, air filter slides right out. No tools, easy to get to. Access to the top of the engine, manifold right there, super easy to deal with. So giving you a quick rundown on what the Z950s are. I haven't really done a really good walk around review and everything of the Z950s yet. I did one on a prototype back in 2020, I think, something like that, when they first came out, but wanted to kind of show you. So now let's talk the difference between the Sport and EX. 60 inches wide, 64 inches wide. The A-arms and axles are 2 inches longer. $13,999, $14,999. Still tremendous value. Like, oh my god, the bang for buck of CF Motos, just second to none, second to none. And I'll put them up against anybody. Come on now. Awesome. You can buy 2 of these. I got a KRX Special Edition sitting on the floor there, and I could buy dang near both of these for the price of that one. Dang near. Come on. $14,999 for $1,000. What do you get for $1,000? Number one, you get a long travel suspension system for $1,000. Just under 12 inches, like I said, 11.8. Now you have, I think, 13.5 in the front and 15 in the rear. Round numbers. Okay, so you're gaining suspension travel. You do have a longer shock, and the shock does have some upgrades to it as well. So you have a totally different knob system on the high speed and low speed, and you turn this knob down here for rebound. Okay, and of course the shocks are longer. I already have the designs in. We're going to be making, I already have our Hester Edition Elka shocks in both 2.0 and 2.5 bodies for this, and we'll have these for 2023. Just gotta go through R&D, but I already got all the specs and everything sent over to Elka so we can start designing and building our Hester Edition shocks for this as well, to vastly improve it and take it to an entirely new level. Ride on the 2. This one does ride a little bit better because of the longer arms. You do have a little bit more leverage and geometry, suspension geometry. Look at the shock angle on that, and look at the shock angle on this. As the shock cants over, it gets plusher. Okay, your spring rates have to be different in between the 2 machines in order to offset the angle. But the different angle and bringing it out farther and closer to the wheel, we're gaining more leverage on the shock. So it does work a little bit different in the geometry department. So the EX does ride a little bit better. And now, of course, wheel travel is a small equation of everything of suspension. More wheel travel, the more potential you have, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better, okay? It's how the suspension works, how the geometry works, how everything works, and how good the valving and the spring ratios are set. That plays the biggest factor. You could have 20 inches of wheel travel and ride horribly. Honda Talon. So, yeah, I sell a lot of Honda Talon shocks, so you got a Honda Talon, you know. Drive a KRX and drive a Honda Talon and tell me the suspension valving and geometry does not make any difference of ride quality. I dare you. I dare you. Put that. I'm not out of pocket on that. I ain't kidding. That is straight facts. What else do you get in between the 2? 27-inch tires with the beadlocks. 29-inch tires with the beadlocks. So for $1,000, you get a long travel suspension system and a 29-inch tall tire. So you get a bigger tire, so it does have more ground clearance. It has more wheel travel, has more ground clearance, so you can clearly see. Right? You got more ground clearance. So all the interior, the dash, seats, everything is identical in the 2. The same engine, same horsepower, 90 horsepower and everything. So, like I said, same horsepower, same everything. But, I mean, honestly, for $1,000, you get a long travel upgrade. You get bigger tires. Same tire, same ply, same everything, just a bigger tire. And of course, a little bit bigger tire. It does make the gear ratios taller because, I mean, the differentials and everything are basically the same in between these. And, I mean, a lot of people talk clutching and everything. I mean, seriously, go out, drive it, have fun. if you like it to hit harder and more aggressive or whatever, yeah, then you can look into clutching and stuff. But yeah, there is ECU tunes for the non-HO, but ECU tunes for the HOs will be coming, because it does have a whole different ECU on it. And because we tried, we took a tuned ECU off a regular Z950 and plugged it into one of these, and nothing worked at all. So it has to be an HO ECU. And right now I am working with Alba Racing on that, sending them an HO ECU so they can tune one up and then send it back for us to test, and hopefully bring that to market as quickly as possible. You need any clutching, it's one person. RNG, Redneck Garage, is the go-to guy for all CFMoto clutching. He is my go-to guy. If I have anything, I tell him, I call him up and I say, Steve, I'm going to run a Z950 and I'm going to run these size of tires, and I'm going to be running blah 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 at this elevation, at this and that, and this is what I want out of it. And he says, bam diggity, Bob's your uncle, here you go, lickety split. And he will build me a clutch to do whatever I want. But stock clutching is very good. You know, you can go slow, you can go fast, you know, it's a well-rounded, balanced clutch. So you might read forums and everything and say, oh, clutching this and clutching this and clutching that and clutching this and clutching that. There's not problems with them. It's personal preference on clutching. Take it out, drive it, have fun with it. If you want more, know that there can be more. So that's the biggest cue to it. But you got HO Sport at 60 inches wide, 2022 price. We don't know the 2023s yet, but 2022 price of $13,999. And the HO EX 64 inch wide, long travel, for $14,999 MSRP. Now everybody should know, MSRP is not out the door. Dealers have freight and material charges and surcharges from the manufacturer that are charged to them. They pass, you know, just like a destination charge when buying a car. That's everything. Every single thing has a destination charge to it. Setup, dealers have to build these out of crates. They have to pay their mechanics or technicians to assemble them and put them all together. I mean, you got a good amount of stuff, but I mean, it takes, depending on the skill, 1 to 2 hours to assemble one of these Z-Force 950s. So setup fee shouldn't be that crazy, but I mean, you can see a setup fee. And then doc fees, you know, documentation fees, whatever the dealer, because the dealer has to pay an employee to do all the paperwork and titling and registration and all that stuff. So, you know, when you talk to a dealer, you know, you ask them what the out the door price is. And of course, there might be two different prices, financing or cash. So every dealer is different. So these are just hints and tips and stuff like that. Oh, forgot to tell you. Yeah, see this light here, it'll light up kind of like an eyebrow. And you got your dual high beam and low beam. Really sweet. Really sweet. I've seen a few, I haven't done myself, but I have seen a few people that made this a turn signal. They wired this all in, made that a turn signal, and then of course used the factory lights as a turn signal, and did a pretty slick turn signal thing here in the United States. I think in some countries around the world, they come with turn signals and horns and stuff like that. Don't quote me. I don't live outside the United States. I've never been, so I couldn't tell you. So check with your dealer where you live. If you're watching this from over the pond or up north in Canada or down south in Mexico, South America, whatever, you know, check what they do for your region of the world. CF Moto, they've been in business since 1989. They're in over 80 countries around the world. Shoot, there's like 1,500 or so dealers in the United States alone. So a very widespread dealer network. They have a 1-year factory warranty, which is good. Compares with Honda. It's twice what Polaris is, twice what Can-Am is, twice what Yamaha is, and twice what a KRX is, Kawasaki KRX. You can buy up to a 5-year extended warranty, so you can have a 6-year warranty on these machines, a factory warranty on these machines. Oh yeah, I did mention earlier, but yeah, that has a steel cable and this has a synthetic rope. And of course, these have wireless controllers as well, not just the lanyard, but a wireless controller. I forgot to tell you that on the HOs. I got them set them right down in here. So you have a wireless controller that you can be about 100 feet out, well, longer than it's a 50-foot cable. But there you go. I know this video is long, it's over 30 minutes, but a lot of detail, a lot of explanation. Wanted to walk around, capture every single aspect, every single angle. There's quite a few accessories and parts available for these machines out now. A lot of manufacturers are getting on board, a lot more places. You know, CF Moto has really ran a spearhead through the other manufacturers when it comes to sheer numbers. And they are getting up there. They are getting well known. They are in every state. They're probably on every trail right now. And they are getting recognized. They are definitely getting recognized. And more manufacturers of parts and accessories are seeing that. There's a lot of places right now already making parts and accessories. And a lot of custom fabricators starting to make a lot of parts and pieces for them as well, that they really only specialized in, say, like a razor. Like, I only make parts for a razor, and then now they're starting to make parts for CF Motos because they see the demand. So people want custom parts and stuff. That's why we do so many custom builds here at our dealership in Raton, New Mexico. We can help you out with a lot of parts and accessories, do great deals. We ship all over North America, you know, Canada, 48 states, Alaska, and Hawaii. So we cover all 50 states and Canada. Sorry, I do not ship outside the United States other than Canada. But we can definitely help you out with a lot of parts and accessories. And you want some tires, you want shocks, a lot of stuff. You can check with your local CF Moto dealer. CF Moto makes a lot of parts and accessories for these from the manufacturer, and more coming all the time. They're a very fun machine. They're fast, you know, quick. And, you know, like, how fast is it? In the 70s, you know, I've seen them do over 70. You want more, you can do some clutching to it, you know. But I mean, 65 to 70 in a side-by-side, you're freaking hauling some mail, dude. I almost started to cuss right there, but you're hauling the beans, man. I mean, unless you're on a road or out in the dunes, most of these machines live their life in low range, 5, 10, 15 miles an hour, crawling on rocks, riding in trails and back roads and stuff like that. You want to be a hoonigan? Yeah, you know. I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody that stayed here long enough, I really appreciate it. Please click that subscribe button. I'm trying to do more and more videos, trying to do more reviews, more everything. And I'm going to do something I bet you all want me to do. Let's take this for a ride and show you some numbers. How about that? Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're gonna get, now, it's probably cooled off by now because I've been yapping for 30 minutes. Okay. Seat belt, safety. We're in sport mode, 2-wheel drive, high range. I'm going to take you on, we have a section over here, 300 feet. We are at 7,000 foot altitude in northeastern New Mexico in the Rocky Mountains. You see the mountains all around us. We're not in the deserts. See, I'm in high range. Look at this. I'm not even reading the speedometer. Look how smooth the clutching is. Now I'm doing 3 miles an hour. Look out. Holy beans. Got my stuff. So this line right here, So those dumpsters over there, there's another line. It's 312 feet, but I just called it 300 foot. And then we're gonna run down and then we're gonna run back. Turn around here. I'll try to be nice. No, I won't. So now I'm going to run from intersection to intersection. One block. Do one intersection, one block. 7,000 foot altitude, people. Keep that in mind. I am not at sea level. I do not produce full power. Get out just so you can hear the exhaust note here. Anybody saying that, oh, you're gonna blow up a new machine? Dude, drive it like you stole it, let the warranty take care of it. That's what I gotta say. I trust the machines. I've been a dealer for 7 years, and I'll tell you, I can't even count on one hand how many engines from CF Moto in total I have rebuilt or replaced. I can honestly tell you, out of rebuilt and replaced, try like 4. Oh, you're a small dealer, you don't sell anything. Try like 170 to 200 a year I sell. I could have sold a lot more if we got the product, but come on now. You guys know me better than that. I've been in business for, well, my parents started this in 1978. Building your custom dreams since 1978 is what I always say. Thank you all for watching. Give you a quick little rundown of that. And like I said, that was the EX with the 29-inch tall tires. That one with the 27s is actually a little bit quicker because of the gear ratio. A little bit lighter tire, a little bit lower gearing. This one will do, I know I did 45 in the 300 feet and I did 61 in the same intersection. So 59 miles an hour, 61. So that just goes to show you the difference in a 2-inch taller tire, a little bit heavier tire, a little bit taller gearing. Clutch this, and yeah, I can blow that away. Clutch that, then I blow that back away. So there you go. Thank you all for watching so much. Yammered on for, good God, 45 freaking minutes. Good Lord, that's a long time. John, shut up and let me go back to work. I can't watch this. Thank you all. Great googly moogly, this guy can talk and he won't shut up. Got a lot to say. What can I say? I wanna be thorough and really go through these machines and give you every aspect and really show you everything like you're here at the dealership, sitting in it, driving it yourself. all that stuff. It's comfortable. It rides pretty good. I mean, there's upgrades to make them better, but there is nothing for the bang for buck of the CF Moto Z Force line in the sport, and U Force line in UTVs, C Force line of ATVs. Nothing, dollar for dollar, bang for buck, nothing comes close. God bless you all. Thank you all for watching.